Welcome to the Epic Company Culture Podcast, where your host, Josh Sweeney, will give you, the business leaders, HR professionals, and company culture aficionados, the knowledge you need to take your company culture to the next level.
Hello, and welcome to the Epic Company Culture Podcast. My name is Josh Sweeney, and welcome to Season 2 of the Epic Company Culture, where we talk all about hiring and company culture. I am joined here by my co-host, Annelle Barnett.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us, Annelle.
Thank you.
So, in this episode, we are going to be sharing a bit about what candidates are looking for from potential employers. So, what do they need? What are they looking at today, right? There's all kinds of jobs available. We're at like record high on voluntary leave, voluntary turnover, people looking for amazing new jobs, and a lot of them are out there. So what are you seeing in your role as a marketing recruiter that people are really looking for? What are they diving down into that maybe they haven't in the past?
Well, I don't think every person is looking for one particular thing. I think it's just dependent upon the actual person and what their motivators are and their drivers are, and figuring out what those are so that you can be that company for them, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, we know from doing personality assessments that we have, I think, 17 different work reward or incentives based on people's personality. So out of that 17, each person has 5 specific things they are incentivized by.
Right.
And oddly enough, out of 17, only one is money.
Right.
So,
yeah.
What are the other factors you're seeing based on, certain people that they want more time off, they want more flexibility? What's happening out there?
Right. Flexibility and time off are always, high on the list, but the irony there is often, I have no idea what the statistic is, but often people don't even take all of the vacation that they get. So it's interesting that that's one of the drivers of a decision. But these days, I think a lot of people are really looking for a socially conscious company to work for. They're looking for someone who, they're looking for an organization who really likes to give back. We've discussed servant leadership on a past podcast, and I think that's definitely something that's important to individuals these days, especially this millennial generation. That's something that they're very passionate about. And so when I'm interviewing people and they're asking me questions about the organization, that's one of the things that they're often asking about.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that in our research, and like one of the major shifts around the generational studies in that area is it used to be go to work, make money, show up, you had to do it. Whereas now with the current climate and generation, jobs they're out there, right? There's
right.
Lots of amazing companies to work for. And when you look in one industry, you can pick out 5 companies that are kind of mediocre. Maybe they don't have ways that they give back. They don't have mission, vision, and values clearly
right.
stated. And then there's another one that is very clear and intentional about that. And that's
right.
what's drawing in millennials, Gen Zers, and upcoming generations so
right.
that they can really be attracted to that mission.
Right.
And they're not just going into work and then leaving at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, and the actual individuals often want to know that the work that they're doing is making an impact, whether that's on a social and environmental or global level or way, or whether it's just making an impact in their role, rather than a position where they're pushing paper around all day and working on busy work. They really want to be able to make an impact and feel like they are contributing to the team and to the growth of a company.
Yeah, growth and achievement is another one of those big areas we're seeing when working with clients where, that is part of the retention strategy. If somebody's not growing, able to achieve and see their results, then they're going to go to an organization where they can be a team player,
right.
where they can be part of that.
Right.
And, that's a mind shift for a lot of organizations
right.
in that, each one of these people need to grow, and there's a timeline on this, right? So I think the average retention right now for a lot of people, especially the millennial generation, is like 1.8 years. And when I look back through my career, somewhere around the 2-year mark is where you had pretty much mastered a role, right? You're getting that itch. You've mastered that role. And if I could have gone into another completely different role or moved up significantly or, making some other move to have that challenge, that personal growth, then that might have had a different impact. And we're seeing that a lot across the board.
Right. Yeah. And that brings up something that we discussed to some degree on another podcast, is that it's often better to hire a candidate that has 70 to 80% of the skills and the capabilities that you're looking for, because then it gives them an opportunity to grow into that role and to really increase their career, develop their career, and become, a different tier or a different level of employee. And so hiring them where they have some room is actually potentially a better strategy than hiring somebody that has everything that you want them to have on day one.
Yeah. Are you finding that there's also maybe some opportunity with the people that have an opportunity for growth? I mean, are they more cost effective as well? Are you seeing any of that? Or
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if they don't check every single box, then they're definitely going to be more cost effective for sure.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what else are you seeing out there just in the change of, what candidates are looking for with their potential employers?
Yeah, I think recognition for success and their contribution to the organization, and whether that's public recognition in front of the company or in front of their team, or if it's just sending an email here and there telling someone that they're doing a good job and keep up the good work. I think those are things that employees need regularly. They need to understand that they are doing good work and that they're making a contribution.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of the similar things, because that recognition rolls into immediate feedback and transparency in a lot of ways as well. So if people aren't getting that, they don't really know if they're doing the job that somebody wants them to do. They're not giving them an opportunity to go out and excel. They're not telling them, where those challenges are.
Right.
And that leads to some dissatisfaction in the growth plan for that person.
Right. Yeah. Another thing that's really important actually is like the technology stack and the tools that you have available for them. So if they're in a marketing role that really requires either analysis tools or marketing automation tools or search engine optimization, search engine marketing, anything like that, if they're able to use the latest and greatest tools, then that actually really excites them, and that develops them in their career as well. So if they take a position and go backwards in the technology that they get to use, then it's not just hurting them in this job, but it'll hurt them in the next job too, because they'll no longer have those skills that they can transfer to the next company. So that's definitely really important to candidates at this stage.
Yeah. I know as a technologist myself, that's a big part of it, right? If I had to go work for another organization and go from my 15-inch MacBook Pro to the 5-year-old ThinkPad, that would probably not bode well.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the software tools. If you see very antiquated CRMs or other things that, don't feel like they've been updated in 5 or 6 or 7 years, and you have to use tools that just aren't responsive, aren't helpful, don't have a good interaction or experience, then you're just not going to want to, not going to be able to excel in that role. There's a little bit of a mental block. And I think that's a big challenge as well for kind of the cultural change of an organization. Whereas before, Boomer, Gen X, a lot of those people, that wasn't a requirement, right? That wasn't a serious criteria.
Right.
Whereas when you're getting a millennial Gen Xer, you're used to having Facebook, you're used to having a computer in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
And so the tools at work need to reflect that efficiency in the tools that you have at home.
Right.
I would look at it and say, well, so this is a multi-billion-dollar business, and we can't afford tools better than what I use at home in a lot of ways. That's not gonna work well for me.
Yeah. I recently did a consulting project at ironically, a technology company that did not give their sales reps laptops.
Gotcha.
They had desktops.
Okay, yeah. I think we've been getting away from that for years, right?
Right.
4 years.
Which is a very interesting strategy. So, especially a sales rep, because they're the ones that you want to be out of the office as much as possible.
Right.
So, when those things don't make sense, they truly don't make sense. Like, really, like, raise the flag on yourself and understand that whatever reason that you have for not providing these tools can actually hurt you in being able to attract and retain talent.
Yeah, most definitely. Awesome. So what we would like for you to think of is, what are candidates looking for in their role and in a potential employer? And when you look at the other people in your industry, in your space, how do you compare? Are you attracting the talent that you need based on the benefits and the environment that you provide? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Epic Company Culture Podcast with Josh Sweeney. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. For additional content and transcripts, visit epicculture.co. If you have questions or topics you would like us to address or expand on, tweet us at epicculture1 or email at podcast@epicculture.co.